Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Okay, so we're talking vitamin E and Alzheimer's disease and neuroprotection. Alzheimer's disease is the 6th leading cause of death in this country now, responsible for untold amount of misery. Nearly half of the adults over age 85 have Alzheimer's disease. Out of nearly 6 million people with Alzheimer's disease, a lot of them don't even know they have Alzheimer's disease because there's no real way to detect it, because there's no such thing as Alzheimer's disease. It's a made-up disease. There's no real markers for Alzheimer's disease. After you die, they can look in your brain and they could see messed up brain cells. There's no real way to mark it, although recently there's been some folks thinking that by checking your saliva they could find stress hormones that may be related to dementia. But for the most part, there's no way to detect Alzheimer's disease because there's no such thing as Alzheimer's disease. What there is rotting brain cells. This is so important, this distinction between cells and disease. And this is why vitamin E is so important. Vitamin E doesn't really do anything for disease, but it is a cell's best friend. The body's composed of cells and stuff. That's all we are, is cells and stuff. Cells and the stuff cells and the stuff the cells make. That's what we are. We're cells and stuff that comes out of the cells, like a Play-Doh extruder machine. Just like when you were a kid, you put Play-Doh in the top, you press the crank, and out come different shapes. That's what a cell does. Yes, that's simplistic, but that's basically what it's about. A cell is a Play-Doh extruder machine. It's extruding proteins, mostly, but other things too. When we're sick, there's something wrong with how that cell is extruding. There's something wrong with the extrusions. This is so important. The health of our body, first and foremost, depends on the extruder machine, on the cells, not the stuff. Doctors work on the stuff that comes out of the cells. Doctors work on the secondary materials because they're not allowed in the cells. The cell is sacred space, folks. The cell is holy, sacred space, and we need to begin to think about it that way. A cell is ridiculously complicated, ridiculously vital and life-filled. Billions of reactions are happening every minute. How do billions of chemical reactions happen every minute? Millions every second. How can this possibly occur? Well, it does. Without our busy body interfering. All we got to do is eat and breathe and make sure we're not swimming in toxicity, all of which we've screwed up. We don't eat right, we don't breathe right, and we bombard our bodies with toxicities. Of course the extruder machine cells are going to be sick. And then the doctor will fix the stuff that comes out, or he'll kill the stuff that comes out, or he'll take something out of the body. Doctors, like everybody else, don't recognize this distinction between cells and stuff. That's why they're perfectly fine with treating disease by removing and manipulating stuff, taking out organs. Dermatology and plastic surgery are the worst, by the way. I've been working with dermatologists for years now. They'll actually inject stuff into the skin. If you're not making enough collagen, if your collagen-making cells, your fiber-making extruder machines are messed up and collagen doesn't come out or it comes out defectively, they'll actually inject it. We'll actually go for a procedure where they will inject stuff into our skin. On the other hand, while the doctor's not welcome into the cell, while the medical model is barred, rejected from this sacred domain of the biological cell that makes up our bodies, God's welcome through food, through nutrition, through oxygen. Not to mention through more abstract elements like our emotions and our thoughts, which get transferred into hormones. Hormones, by the way, act as little switches that turn on the extruder machine. Thoughts, emotions, feelings, food, nutrition, detoxification. I don't really like that word detoxification, but avoiding toxicity. This is how the body's meant to be healthy. This is such good news. If you have a chronic degenerative disease, this should be the best news you've ever heard. It means that we can heal ourselves. This is so amazing. If you have diabetes, you can reverse it. If you have Alzheimer's disease, you can slow down its progression and reverse it. If you have cancer, Do you know cancer can be reversed? Remissions occur. Yes. We've known about cancer remissions for hundreds of years. Certainly autoimmune disease. There's some 30, 40, maybe 50 million people that have autoimmune diseases, type 2, type 1 diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, ankylosing spondylitis. All of these things are reversible. All of these things, even if you don't reverse it, you can slow down its progression, but not with a drug, not with a doctor. This is a hypnotic trance we're under, that we think that a doctor can do anything for us. And I'm not ripping on doctors here. I'm ripping on the model. No one has cancer. We have cells that have switched into cancer growth. No one has heart disease, but lots of people have sick heart cells. No one has diabetes. We have sick pancreas cells, or we have sick cells everywhere that aren't responding to the garage door opening effects of insulin, of the hormone insulin. No one has respiratory disease. Do you know respiratory disease is like the third or fourth leading cause of death in this country? And no one has respiratory disease. People have sick respiratory cells. See the distinction we're making here? If you think you have this thing called respiratory disease, you're like, what the heck do I do? But if you realize that it's just lung cells that are messed up, and it's really in that way no different than liver cells that are messed up when you have hepatitis or liver disease, or skin cells that are messed up when you have psoriasis or skin disease, or heart cells that are messed up when you have heart disease, it simplifies everything. And that really is what this is all about. Simplification. Simplexity. I love that word, simplexity. I'll tell you what that is when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We're talking about Alzheimer's disease, vitamin E. Vitamin E is neuroprotective, one of the best vitamins for the brain cells. Maybe, I don't want to say the most important, but it's in the top 10, that's for sure. If you're dealing with dementia issues, memory issues, cognitive impairment, or you have a loved one or friend or family member who's dealing with any kind of mental health issues, get them on vitamin E. Mixed tocopherols, mixed tocotrienols. There's 8 different kinds of vitamin E, as we've said in the past. Alzheimer's disease is a big problem. The number of people with Alzheimer's disease may triple by 2050, according to the journal Neurology, the medical journal of the American Academy of Neurology. This increase is due to an aging baby boom generation. No, it's not. This increase is due to us not taking care of ourselves, to eating the way we're eating. And by the way, don't buy into the silliness about the genetics of it. Oh, you have the gene. Oh, it's in your family. There's a lot of misunderstanding in the world of health and nutrition, but really, there's nothing that's more misunderstood than genetics. If anybody ever tells you the gene for this or the gene for that, if you ever hear that phrase, gene for this, oh, it's the gene for Alzheimer's disease. Oh, you have the gene for breast cancer. They don't know what they're talking about. That's not how genes work. It's not like you have a gene for this and a gene for that. This is cartoon talk. This is baby talk. Genetics is incredibly complicated, number one. Genes are networked. They're connected with each other. You can't just play around with genes. This is the problem with genetic modification, by the way, GMO. Genes are networked. They're connected. They're linked. They operate as a team. Like everything in the body operates as a team. The body is a whole. There's no separation in the body, and you can't take out a gallbladder and not expect the rest of the body to be messed up. Likewise, you can't remove a gene and expect the whole genome not to be messed up. These genes are linked. Genes are responsible for various proteins. Scientists say they're pleiotropic, which means that one gene can affect dozens of different chemical reactions. One gene can produce dozens of different proteins. And you don't have a gene for this or a gene for that. Simplistic baby talk. It's not how genes work. Genes are networked. And what's more, genes respond to the inside of a cell and especially to the outside, the membrane and the environment. Genes turn on and off. There's a small amount of genes in the genome, which is all your genes. There's a small amount of genes that are hereditary for your eye color maybe and your hair. Even those can probably be changed. But about 5 or 10, maybe 10% of the genes are permanent. But 90% of them are turning on and off responsive to the environment. So nobody has a gene for Alzheimer's disease, even though you'll hear people say this. There's a gene that's associated with Alzheimer's disease, but sometimes people get Alzheimer's disease, sometimes they don't, and they have this gene. It's called the APOE4 gene. 1 in 5 people carry this APOE4 gene for Alzheimer's, but people get Alzheimer's with or without the gene. Genetics is involved, but the genetics is responsive to the environment. Sugar will change genetics. Lack of oxygen or oxygenation will change genetics. That's really what we're talking about here when we talk about the power of nutrition, the power of thought, the power of emotions and feeling, the power of oxygenation and respiration, the power of exercise, the power of rest. You don't need a doctor for any of this. Power of rest, no doctor required. Power of exercise, no doctor required. Power of nutrition, no doctor required. Power of oxygenation, no doctor required. Power of detoxification or eliminating toxicity, no doctor required. All of these steps that we can do ourselves, this is the bright side, this is the good news, all of these steps that we can do ourselves work by changing genetics. So don't let anybody tell you you have the gene for this and the gene for that, and don't say it. It's not accurate. As far as Alzheimer's disease go, think dying, rotting brain cells, period. Think cells that aren't doing their business, period. Think starving, suffocated brain cells, swimming in sugar, by the way, toxicity. This is really a problem when it comes to Alzheimer's disease, is insulin and sugar. And I am not going to rip on sugar any more than I have to, because I'm a sugar addict as much as anybody. You know, if I'm hypoglycemic, low blood sugar, I got the same kind of neurochemistry that we all have. We're neurochemically, neurologically hardwired to go for sugar, especially under conditions of stress, emotional stress, or physical stress, or nutritional deficiency. This is why people lose weight on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Under conditions of nutritional deficiency, you will crave sugar. Under conditions of protein deficiency, we'll crave sugar. Under conditions of micronutrient deficiency, B vitamin deficiency, we will crave sugar. So if you want to lose weight, and sugar is the number one reason why we gain weight, you want to lose weight, get on a nutritional supplement program. You want to lose weight, get on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. You want to lose weight, eat more protein. You want to lose weight, make sure you're focusing on digestive health, using strategies for digestive health. Probiotics support the microbiome, digestive enzymes, the Fucoid Z. And by the way, don't underestimate the importance of emotional stress and mental stress when it comes to weight loss. Last week, we read a study about stress and weight gain. This is one of the major reasons why we gain weight. Emotional stress, mental stress, in addition to physiologic stress. The conventional wisdom about Alzheimer's disease is that it's a buildup in the brain of beta amyloid plaque, and now doctors have a new boogeyman. They call it tau protein. Others tell you it's fluoride and aluminum, and the latest boogeyman is chlorine and fluoride. Of course, then you get a magic formula that helps you get rid of fluoride, or a filter that gets rid of fluoride. I'm not saying fluoride's good, by the way. Fluoride definitely has effects on the brain. That's part of the whole toxicity profile. So it's the toxicity that we've inoculated or injected into our environment. Absolutely, that's got an effect. But it doesn't do us any good to moan about chemtrails and fluoride in the water and chlorine in the water and toxicity when we're intentionally toxing out our bodies. Alzheimer's disease involves fibers, true. But fibrosis is a classic way that cells manifest their breakdown. And it actually might be, and I'm not convinced, I'm thinking here, fibrosis, which is the secretion of fibers, pulmonary fibrosis in the lungs, cystic fibrosis in the pancreas, fibrosis in the brain, fibrosis in breasts and ovaries and for women. I'm thinking that fibrosis may not necessarily be a dysfunction. It may be one of the ways the cell defends or protects against broken tissue, against destroyed tissue. Maybe the brain is rotting so much that cells secrete fibers as a way of patching up the rot. Sort of like caulking in a broken down wall or a broken down building. In any case, yes, fibrosis is involved, but fibrosis follows toxicity. Fibrosis follows sickness. And don't underestimate the importance of estrogen. Estrogen is really interesting stuff, folks, and we don't really talk about it the way we should be talking about it. Estrogen is associated with inflammation and toxicity and protecting yourself from estrogen. Now, that's something that could be important, and vitamin E is estrogen. Memory loss associated with Alzheimer's reversed. I love this one. You can reverse memory loss. This is a study done from UCLA. And you know how they did it? A 36-point therapeutic program involving diet. Hello, where'd you hear that before? Nutritional supplementation, exercise, optimization of sleep. I love that one. Do you know there's a very important connection between lack of sleep and a toxic buildup of chemicals in the brain for everybody, really, but especially for Alzheimer's? From the journal Nature Neuroscience. This is from June of last year. Sleep may be a missing piece in the Alzheimer's disease puzzle. Sleep, particularly a deficit of deep restorative sleep, is a channel through which the proteins, the tangles, believed to trigger Alzheimer's disease, attacks the brain's memory. So again, you see, it's not the tangles, it's not the nerves, it's not the fibers, it's the stuff that precedes it. That's really the key. We don't see the preceding causes. All effects have causes, but sometimes those causes are invisible. In fact, they're always invisible. In the case of cancer, all cancer begins with one cell. All disease begins with one cell, then two cells, then three cells. But because there's so many cells and because they're so small, we don't notice it. But rest assured, behind every effect, every symptom, every sign of a degenerative disease, whether it's pain or in the case of Alzheimer's, cognitive problems, there are invisible causes. That's the trick right there, folks. We got to learn to see or to sense invisible causes. We've got to become attuned to the invisible world. That's why people are marginalized thoughts and emotions and feelings and spirituality. This is why we marginalize and we're so dismissive of these ideas. Your doctor probably thinks it's a joke. Oh, your thoughts affect your reality. Ha, 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 ha. Your feelings affect your reality. Ha. And they don't do it as much anymore because now it's been scientifically shown, and there's actually scientific journals that talk about the link between emotions and the immune system, for example. But they used to, and a lot of them still do, because we don't notice the invisible world, because we live in this materialistic world, which is a vestige of the Enlightenment 600 years ago. That's when science really got going, about 600 years ago. And actually, it was a response to the real crazy spirituality of the Middle Ages, of the Dark Ages. In the Middle Ages and the Dark Ages, they knew about the invisible world, but they had kind of silly feelings about it. They didn't really know about it. They attributed disease to clouds in the air, or to evil gods, or to... I read this book once in the Middle Ages. One of the causes of disease was the number 9. I don't know how that worked, but that's what it said in this book anyway. Or little elves that shot arrows at you. I'm not kidding you. This is what they really thought. Little elves that shot arrows at you. So science was a response to that kind of crazy deification of the invisible, crazy honoring of the invisible. But today, we got to come full circle, and we got to recognize that thoughts and feelings have invisible energy associated with them. Yes, every time you think a thought, there's energy that's emitted from your brain. You can detect it with an EEG machine, an electroencephalogram machine. You can actually detect your thoughts. There's thoughts that come off. There's energy that comes off of our head after we think, or as we're thinking thoughts, and that same energy affects our body. It affects the shape of our bodies. It affects the shape of our cells. Now that's really where you can have an effect on disease. But to depend on just what we could see with our own eyes, this materialistic way that medicine works on the body, it doesn't serve us, and the evidence is in the utter failure of the medical model when it comes to addressing degenerative health challenges. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. 844-236-6010. If you have questions about health, nutrition, or prescription drugs, or skin health issues, or formulations, or ingredients, or if you have a success story you'd like to share, or if you just want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number. Stephen in PA. What's going on? Good morning, buddy.
Good morning, Ben. Ben, I have basically on those little elves that shoot the the shoot the arrows. I heard on there was witnesses back when the Black Plague was going through Europe that the Grim Reaper with the sickle.
Yeah, they saw him.
People spraying sprayers with spraying agricultural sprayers, spraying mist.
To get rid of the Grim Reaper or something?
No. I guess maybe, who knows, started or whatever. I don't know.
Okay. This is what they believed. That they didn't know about germs. Germs were invisible. They had no idea. They didn't even know what rotting was. They would dump their excrement in their front lawns because they didn't understand that there were these invisible components to the disease process. So, yeah, we're not much better today. Is all.
Well, that's what I'm calling to discuss the silent signaling proteins. I had listened to another show where regarding old age and aging. I believe they call it sentience.
Sentience, yes. Senescence. Senescence.
And the SERT signaling proteins. There's a SERT1.
Those are genetics. Those are genes. The SERT gene, yes.
And what they're finding out now is this one nutrient called NAD plus, which is also called...
It's involved in energy production. It's part of B vitamins. It's part of niacin, nicotinamide, adenosine, something or another. It's a niacin derivative.
Nicotinamide riboside.
Okay.
And that is, it's a form of vitamin B3.
But what are they getting at here? What's the major point here, Steve?
What they're saying is that these SERT genes, let me see, 3 of them, there's 7 of them, 3, 4, and 5 enhance the mitochondria.
Well, you see, but here's the thing, Stephen. You're getting way too in-depth. I mean, it's fun and it's interesting, but for somebody who has Alzheimer's disease, they don't need to know about SERT genes and NAD, and although niacin can be very helpful for the brain, by the way, very important brain.
I don't know if niacin even has this nicotinamide riboside.
Nicotinamide is niacin. Nicotinamide is a derivative of niacin.
Okay, it's a form of B3, but this particular stuff, it halts the aging. It stops, I guess, the environment of the cell. It starts putting out these toxins.
What is the stuff, though? What is the stuff, Steve? Is it the NAD you're talking about?
Yeah, it's nicotinamide riboside is the exact name of the supplement.
All right, well, here's the deal. You don't need nicotine. They're trying to sell that maybe, but here's what you want to do. Get yourself some niacin, because that really is important. By the time you get to these fine derivatives, these refined derivatives of the niacin, the body has many mechanisms for controlling that. What you want to give your body is the precursors, and let the body make the NAD. And the major precursors are the B vitamins. That's why I call them the brain vitamins. The B vitamins are the brain vitamins, particularly niacin, by the way. You know, if you have Asperger's syndrome or social anxiety syndrome or any anxiety issues, high doses of nicotinamide, high doses of niacin have been shown to help calm the brain down. Niacin's involved in the production of serotonin, an important brain chemical, tryptophan. There's a relationship between niacin and tryptophan, which is an important brain amino acid. So, point well taken, Stephen. Niacin is very important for the brain, as are all the B vitamins. I'm going to let you go, buddy. Unless you have
one question before you go.
Sir.
But the niacin is niacinamide. It's not nicotinamide.
They're very, very similar, extremely similar to each other. Nicotinic acid, niacinamide, niacin, they're pretty darn close. For all intents and purposes, they're vitamin B3. Stephen, have a beautiful, blessed day. Thank you for bringing that up, my friend.
Bye.
Take care. Okay, hang tight if you're on hold. We'll get to you when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You are listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. Let's go to Virginia in Ohio. What's going on? Welcome to The Bright Side. Good morning, Virginia.
Hello.
Hello. What's cooking?
Yeah, I've been on longevity products for a couple years now, and I'm having some skin issues.
Okay, tell me about them, Virginia.
Okay, probably for 30 years or so, my palms of my hands are dry and they're cracked.
Got it.
And itchy.
Just your palms? Anywhere else in the body?
No. The last probably 3 years, I've had where my buttocks rub together.
Okay.
There is dry.
Got it.
It's all dry
Here's
there.
the deal.
And
Let me explain to you how that works, okay?
okay.
When you look at your skin, it just looks like one thing, but you got to zoom in with your X-ray vision, your imaginary X-ray vision, and see layers. What you're explaining there, the way you're describing your condition, is the top layers of that skin. Hey, Keith, will you turn that down? Keith, please. Having an echo. Can you hear an echo there, Virginia?
No.
Okay. I'll just have to deal. Maybe you have your radio on.
No.
Your radio on. No?
No.
All right, I'll have to deal with it then. All right, so if you want to look at your skin, you'll see you have to picture in your imagination layers. What you're explaining is the top layer is not growing correctly, period.
Right.
This has to do with fats and fatty vitamins. Any condition on the surface of the skin, the way you're explaining, where it doesn't develop appropriately, that's called eczema, by the way, but it can also be something like dry, flaky skin. You want to consider fats and fatty vitamins. And that means digestion or absorption of fats and fatty vitamins and intake of them. So number one, all right, Virginia, you there? Do we have Virginia?
Yes.
Okay. Number one, vitamin A, 20,000 international units a day. Number two, vitamin D, I'm just going to deal with it here for a second, Keith. Don't worry about it. 5,000 international units a day of vitamin D, 400 international units a day of vitamin E. Make sure you're taking your ultimate EFAs with all of that. All the A and the D and the E, you're going to have to take extra. But your ultimate EFAs, I'd be doing 9 of them a day. Now, if you're not absorbing, and very commonly as we get older, especially women get older, malabsorption of fats occurs. So you may take your fats but not benefit from them. So using supplements that can help you process and absorb and assimilate those fats is also important. Making sure you're using all your fatty vitamins and essential fatty acids with food, especially fatty food, and it wouldn't hurt you to throw in the ultimate enzymes with your fatty food and with your vitamin E, A, and D, and ultimate EFAs. And then if you want, you can get yourself some extra bile salts, B-I-L-E, bile salts, and make sure you do the whole thing with apple cider vinegar to activate the enzymes and get yourself some help support stomach acidity. And then last but most certainly not least, probiotics, good bacteria, play a major role in the absorption and digestion of fats. Now, if you have any digestive issues that are triggered by foods, you're going to want to eliminate those foods because food allergies can also cause disruptions in how that upper layer of your skin grows. But mostly you want to consider that you're not making or you're not processing fats correctly, either through a lack of intake of fatty vitamins and EFAs or a lack of absorption, and it has to do with the fatty layer on the very, very surface of the skin. The reason you're noticing it on your butt cheeks and the reason you're noticing it on your hands is because those areas are rubbing against each other, and in the case of your hands, you're using the palms of your hands a lot, so that area breaks down faster than other parts of the body, the skin on other parts of the body. I got a bunch of calls here I want to get to. I hope I helped you out. One last thing, if you use my Omega-6 Healing Cream, Truth Omega-6 Healing Cream on the area, that'll accelerate the healing. Thanks for your call, Virginia. I'm going to let you go, okay?
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day. All right, let's go to Carol in Baltimore. What's up? Welcome to the bright side, Carol.
Hey, hi, thanks.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, I've got a question about my sister, and then I've got a question about me.
Sure.
My sister loves doctors. Loves doctors.
Okay, that's all right.
And
Doctors
so
need
far
love
they've
too.
gotten-
We beat up on doctors a lot. They need some loving too. We all need love, including
Okay.
doctors. Okay.
But,
all right. So yes, go ahead.
So far, they've got her uterus, and they just got her gallbladder. And I'm afraid the next thing will be her thyroid. She had terrible gallstones, so she had emergency gallbladder surgery. So they've got that now. But for years, she's been on estrogen replacement, and then she went on thyroid. And they had her taking calciferol, which I just got her off of. But I'm wondering if any of those things caused the gallstones. Hello? Hello?
There's a man named Dr. Joel Wallach who is anything but your typical doctor, both a veterinarian and naturopathic physician. Doc asks, why does the United States spend more money on healthcare by far and still rank 50th in health and longevity worldwide? He believes that people should empower themselves with a basic understanding of nutrition, take charge of their health, and attain optimal health and longevity through nutrition, not by toxic prescription drugs that lead to side effects and more toxic prescription drugs. Doc Wallach's message is resonating with an increasing number of Americans who are waking up to all the big government, big pharma, and big insurance manipulation of our healthcare system. I'm George Norrie, and I like what Doc Wallach is saying and doing to enlighten people about healthcare. Visit brightsideben.com and listen to Doc Wallach's Deadly Recipes lecture. It makes a lot of sense, and I urge you to join the Brightside Ben team. Go to brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com.
Here's Dr. Paul Meyer, Christian psychiatrist, author of 85 books, and founder of the national chain Meyer Clinics, to tell you about To Your Health liquid vitamins.
I've been taking these every day for over a decade now, and I try to encourage every one of my clients to take them every day. And there's a number of reasons. First of all, it's the best vitamins you can get. It's got dozens of vitamins, antioxidants, and nutrients in it. And then the most important reason why I do it as a psychiatrist and recommend it to my patients is because it's got brain food in it. It's got the essential amino acids. It's got tryptophan, phenylalanine, tyrosine, choline, vitamin B6, and these chemicals that are all natural from food turn into the brain chemicals that make you happy.
To Your Health is delicious. Find out more today. Call us 800-801-3459 or visit online at mytoyourhealth.com. Use the coupon code RADIO15 for a 15% discount on your order. That's mytoyourhealth.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and negative articles can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? ReputationDefender.com can help protect your good name. Get a free consultation now. Call 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from ReputationDefender.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com today.
Vaping enthusiasts, head to VaporPalace.com. Choose from over 150 flavors and a selection of exclusive private stock vapor liquid you won't find anywhere else. New flavors are added every month, and our customer service is unbeatable. VaporPalace.com offers 15% off all vapor liquid on Fridays and get 10% off every order with coupon code VAPOR10 at checkout. Combine the codes on Fridays for 25% off. The ultimate destination for the vaping enthusiast. VaporPalace.com.
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. This could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. A General Steel building can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And we're offering rebates of up to $20,000 to help you build today. Call General Steel for free information that could save you thousands. Call 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL.
Did you know a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, you might not sleep so well. But now, SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs, and it's completely hands-free. For a limited time, you can try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-941-9796.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean destroys CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs, and it eliminates the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. There's no water, chemicals, or disassembly. Just pop in your mask, close the lid, and presto, your CPAP system is clean and fresh in minutes. Call SoClean.com to try it risk-free at home for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer only available by calling 1-800-941-9796. That's 1-800-941-9796.
Worried about lead, fluoride, and other contaminants in your drinking water? Get a ProPure with the Pro 1G 2.0 cleanable reusable filter and remove up to 200 contaminants. Drink water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure products, including the new ProMax shower filter. There's a ProPure for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com. And other contaminants in your drinking water? Get a ProPure with the Pro 1G 2.0 cleanable reusable filter and remove up to 200 contaminants. Drink water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure products, including the new ProMax shower filter. There's a ProPure for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com.
This is Rick Ossick, president of Famous Footwear. Our company is working together with the March of Dimes through March for Babies to raise money and awareness about the serious problem of premature birth in the U.S. As a business leader, I know that babies born very sick or too soon cost businesses billions of dollars each year, in addition to the emotional stress on employees and their families. That's why Famous Footwear is committed to raising funds to improve the health of moms and babies everywhere. Won't you please join us in the March for Babies? Start a team today at marchforbabies.org.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs understands the importance of supplementing with glucosamine and chondroitin for optimal health and vitality. That's why he recommends Glucogel from Youngevity.
Get on the Glucogel caps from Youngevity. They're a great way to treat arthritis and any kind of joint issues. And oh, by the way, glucosamine is great for helping support the vascular system, the blood vessel system too. So you'll get multiple benefits from the Glucogel caps. You'll be able to treat your arthritis and joints as well as the circulatory system. And also the Glucogel caps can help prevent wrinkles. The Glucogel caps support collagen synthesis.
Take pharmacist Ben's advice and support your joint, circulatory system, and skin health by ordering Glucogel from Youngevity. Call 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470 or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issue, and company and other factors. Not available in all states.